Hi, I'm Vanessa from McKee Music Therapy Services, and I am here to teach the 5 days of introduction to the violin. It's going to be a great 5 days together, and you are going to learn just enough to get you going and ready to play. To make sure that you get all 5 days of my class, I want you to make sure that you are liking our YouTube channel, that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and also that you are liking our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and all of our social media so that you make sure that you get all 5 days of the introduction to violin class. Also on our YouTube channel is the introduction to the ukulele class, an introduction to keyboard class, and an introduction to the guitar class. Those are all taught by Christine, and those are awesome classes. So if you haven't checked them out, might be something you want to do, I suggest checking them out. I know I learned a lot for them, and I already play those instruments. Anyway, today is all about the violin. Now you will notice that I only have the violin. I don't have a bow in my hand. That is because today you don't need it, just this part, okay? So if you have your bow with you, go ahead and go put that away. Mine is still back there in its case because I don't need it today. So first things first, let's talk about the parts. What are all the parts of the violin? There's a lot of them, right? So we're going to talk about them all. We're going to start up at the top, okay? This right here is called the scroll, all right? And I'm just going to give you a quick overview. We have the scroll. These right here are the tuning pegs. Each tuning peg corresponds to a string, and it helps the string stay in tune. It's what makes it tighter or looser. Now, if you are a kid, you want to make sure that you have adult supervision when you are tuning the tuning pegs, especially in the beginning. If you are an adult, just be careful. My biggest piece of advice when you are working with the tuning pegs is keep them turned a little bit away from your face. If you tighten it too tight, it is going to break and it's gonna hurt if it hits your face. Just be careful, okay? Word of warning. All right, moving on. This next little part right here, and I'm gonna get really close. You can't really see it. There is a piece of wood right here that goes this way, and that is called the nut. And it holds the strings up a little bit higher than the fingerboard here. So so far we have the scroll, the tuning pegs, the nut, and the strings, obviously, and the fingerboard. Easy enough so far, right? Keep going down. We have the actual body of the violin. Now your violin might be super shiny. My violin's kind of old. It was actually my grandfather's who played it before me. So my violin is not super shiny. It has seen a lot of love. We're gonna say that. We have the strings, the body, and these right here are the F holes. Now the F holes are where the sound comes out of, okay? Inside the body is a piece of wood that helps vibrate. And we're not gonna go into all the physics and the acoustics of how the violin sounds. Just know air vibrates inside there and it comes out and it makes beautiful music. Moving on down, we have the bridge. I'm gonna point that out right there. The bridge is movable. It is not attached. It is held on by the pressure of the strings, okay? So if you take all the strings off, the bridge is gonna fall off. Or if you mess with this too much, it will come off. So don't do that, okay? All right, we still have more strings down here, and then they attach here to the tailpiece, okay? Now my chin rest, this part right here, might look a little bit different than yours. Yours might be just one spot, but this one goes a little bit all the way across. When you get to be proficient in the violin, you will find that some things feel more comfortable than you, and some things don't feel right. So this was the chin rest that I like and that I prefer. It is not an endorsement for you to go get one like this. Whatever is on your instrument is good, all right? Unless it's broken, then maybe not, but stick with what you have. Now, some of you, especially if you're a beginner, you will have, let me get a little closer here, you will have these little fine tuners all the way across. Now, mine, when you get to be more advanced, it gets to be kind of a not looked upon well to have fine tuners all the way across. You want to be able to use your tuners for tuning. But your E string, which we'll talk about later, don't worry, your E string, the highest string, gets a fine tuner, usually no matter what. And it just helps. It helps. Say that, it helps. All right, on the back of your instrument, okay, this is the back, this is the front. The back of the instrument, you may or may not have a shoulder rest. The shoulder rest helps keep your shoulder comfortable. It helps hold the instrument in an upright position, and it just makes things more comfortable. I highly recommend playing with a shoulder rest. It just makes life a lot easier, okay? I'm gonna stick mine back on here. Here we go. All right, your chin rest here will connect all the way around and wrap around to the back here to hold it on. Same with the tailpiece. Right here, it connects to a little button, usually right there. All right. Like I said, the shoulder rest is removable. Everything else, you shouldn't be messing with. All right, nothing else you want to be playing with or taking off or figuring out how it works. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. You want to keep everything pretty much intact. Oh, there's one other thing that you might have noticed, and you're like, hey, I don't have one of those. This right here is this little plastic, it's a little rubber piece, you can see maybe, is a mute. Don't worry if you don't have one, you don't need one. All right, it will come up way later when you are a much advanced player and you're super professional. You're like, hey, I need a mute now. You will know. A teacher or a conductor will tell you that you're gonna need a mute. But for right now, don't worry that there's one on there for me and not for you. All right, so I think we've got all the parts of the violin covered. And now we are going to move on to sizing. Sizing is incredibly important when you are playing the violin. If you are trying to play on an instrument that is too big, you can't reach the stuff and it's not gonna work. If you are trying to play on an instrument that is too small, it's gonna be too small for you and you're not gonna have space to play. If the instrument is too big, you can also hurt yourself. Please do not play on an instrument that is too big. And I'm gonna tell you how to size the instrument for you right now. Or what size you need, okay? I can't make a violin bigger or smaller, but they make them in a whole bunch of different sizes. So if you are looking for an instrument, go ahead, go into a music store, have them size you. But if you already have one and you're like, hey, I wonder if I can play that, we're gonna figure that out right now. So this is how you do it. You're gonna take your instrument. I'm gonna talk about holding position in a moment, but just for sizing, just put it up to your chin, okay? You're gonna put it on your shoulder, okay? Right on your neck. And I want you to reach your arm out, okay? And I want you to hold the scroll, okay? That's why I wanted to make sure you learn the parts first. Hold the scroll of your violin. Now, if you can do that and have your fingers reach all the way down to here without stretching so far, but comfortably, you are in a good size, all right? Also, another way to check that it is a well-fitting violin is if you reach out and you put your arm in the playing position, okay, on here on the neck and on the neck by the fingerboard, your elbow should be at about a 90-degree angle, okay? If it is greater than a 90-degree angle, if it is obtuse, even you thought you were gonna get math, right? Yep, if the angle is obtuse, okay, greater than a 90-degree angle, that violin is too big for you and you need to get a smaller violin, all right? There are a lot of injuries that can happen if you are playing a violin that is too big. So I know that I'm trying to make a big deal about this and it's like, Nessa, just move on. It is very important that you are not playing a violin that is too big for you. So please, please, please check those angles, okay? So right here, that your elbow is at no more than a 90-degree angle and that you can reach up and touch that wood right there, that you can curl your fingers all the way around your scroll without being uncomfortable. You should be able to reach, okay? And if you can do all of those, then we are ready to move on and talk about playing position. So you're gonna hold the violin and I want you to take your hand, hold it up like that, okay? You're gonna see there's a little hook there, right? Kind of a little hook. If you don't have a big round part, you will have a part that sticks out, a little hook there. You're gonna kind of hang it on there. Don't let go from the bottom, just rest it there, okay? Now that you've done that, take your fingers and grab it, okay? Go ahead, grab it. You're gonna take your hand, put it out this way, put it on your shoulder, okay? Your shoulder, actually, before we do this, I want you to do this with me. Take a deep breath, let it out. Now, take your shoulders, both of them, stretch them way up to your ears, okay? Up as high as they can go. Good, 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 good. And now I want you to relax them all the way down. Sit up nice and straight. You need to have good posture when you play the violin. The violin is a very physical instrument. You may not think so, but it's a very physical instrument and you need your body to be up nice and straight so that your body can hold and play the instrument with ease. You shouldn't be, in the beginning, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but that's okay. It shouldn't take extra work. So with this shoulder nice and relaxed, nice and down, okay? And this is where the shoulder rest comes in handy, okay? So you're gonna take your instrument, rest it on your shoulder, okay? And kind of press it into your neck. It should be touching your neck. Now, if I didn't have my shoulder rest, it would be down here. And you know what? That hurts because it's hard here and it's on your bones. That hurts. Get your shoulder rest, put it on, and that's gonna take up the space and it's gonna give you some padding. Put it on your shoulder, nice and close to your neck, and then keep your shoulder down and snuggle in. Your chin goes on the chin rest, kind of snuggle in. Now, carefully let go. Do you see this? Now, but I am still talking to you. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm still talking. My hands are in the air. Okay? Now, when you first do that, don't let go very far, right? You want your hands to still be right there, ready to catch it. This is a skill that you will learn and that will take practice. But what the goal is that you're not using this hand to hold the violin up. The hand doesn't hold the violin up. Your shoulder and your neck and your chin hold the violin up. And that shoulder rest will take up the space so that you're not going like this too. Okay? We don't want this. And we don't want it out here. We don't want this. Okay? We want it up nice and high. I'm gonna put it on one more time. Okay? Right out there. Okay? Perfect. Now, couple things. We don't want it out here, not straight facing forward, and we don't want it way out to the side. Kind of right in the middle, comfortable position, okay? That is the first step, is that you are holding the violin with your shoulder, your chin, and your neck, and not your hands. Once you get that, we can move on. All right. Got your hand up there. Now, while we are playing a little bit, it's okay if this hand kind of hangs out here for right now. That's something you're gonna have to practice holding it up, okay? But keep that in mind that you are gonna want this hand to be free, all right? Let's learn a little bit about these strings, okay? So they go from lowest to highest, and they all have names. If you took the ukulele class or the guitar class or the keyboard class, you know that all the musical notes have names. They have letters that correspond to them. The violin has 4 strings, like the ukulele did. 4 strings. They're not the same as the ukulele. But here we go. G. Okay. Go ahead and find your G and pluck. That's the lowest one. And if you look at them, it is the thickest string. Okay. G. Keep going up. We have D. G. D. Good. All right. Next one is A. There we go. G, D, A. Finally, we have the highest string, our E string. G, D, A, E. Okay? When I hold my violin up, my E string is the one that is closest to you on the camera. Okay? My G string is the one that is closest to me, that is farthest away from the camera, okay? There you go. So G, D, A, E. Got that? All right. We are going to start plucking. One more note before we start plucking. Today, it doesn't matter because we're only gonna pluck the strings open, okay? We're not gonna put any fingers down. That's tomorrow. So between today and tomorrow, if you have long fingernails on your left hand, I had to check, on your left hand, if you have long fingernails on your left hand, I am very sorry to tell you this, but you have to cut your nails. That is part of playing the violin. If you want to play the violin, you can't have long nails on your left hand. You can have a long thumbnail, all right? You can kind of see, I kind of have a long thumbnail, but the rest of your nails have to be short, all right? Now, if you are like you're girly or I play the guitar too. So you know what? I have long nails on one hand and I have short nails on the other. It's just the way it is, okay? So between today and tomorrow, go cut those nails, all right? If you have short nails, then you're good to go already. Let's work on some plucking. Go ahead, put your violin up, okay? Now, take your right hand with your thumb, okay? And I want you to press it into the corner of your fingerboard. Now you're saying, why, Miss Vanessa? Why, Vanessa? Why do you want me to do this? Well, when you are learning how to pluck, or from the proper way to say that is pizzicato. Can you try and say that? Pizzicato is to pluck. When you are learning pizzicato on the violin, you are going to anchor your thumb right there on that corner, okay? And it's gonna keep you nice and balanced, nice and stable. So, violin up, right hand thumb on that corner, and I want you to take your first finger, your index finger, this one, okay? And I want you to pluck all your strings. We're gonna pluck together. This hand right here does not matter right now. You can put it in your lap if you're comfortable. You can hold it up here, you can hold it back here. I'm gonna hold it here so that it's out of your way to see, hopefully. And you know what? I'm gonna turn a little bit so you can see me better maybe, okay? But this hand right here doesn't matter. Thumb on the corner, we're gonna pluck G. Oh, that's even harder to see. Let's shoot this way. There we go. G, D, A, E. Let's go backwards now. E, A, D, G. All you are going to do today is pluck and have fun. How many different combinations can you pluck? We've got 4 strings. We got 4 notes. Let's see what we can do. Let's try this. G, D, G, A, G, A, D, E, D, D, E. Now go back to G, A, G, A, G, A. A nice steady beat, right? Other way, D, E, D, E, D. Good. G, A, G, A. All right. I want you to make one up. Go ahead, pause the video, make one up. See what happens. Did you do it? Did you pause the video and come back? Here we go. Let's do something else together. We're gonna keep plucking. I want you to pluck G, G, D, D, G, G, D, D. One more time. G, G, D, D. Good. And now D, D, A, A, D, D, A, A, D, D. Good. And now A, E, E. A, A. Excellent. Go ahead and stop those. Now, put your violin down. I'm gonna back up so you can see me just a little bit better. Put your violin down, put it in your lap, put it on the case, put it down somewhere safe. And now I want you to shake everything out. Okay? Now, stretch this out. So take your right hand, you're gonna stretch this out. You are going, when you first start learning the violin, you might get a little sore here. Okay? You wanna make sure that you're not holding any tension there, that your shoulder is nice and dropped. But these are muscles that we do not use to hold things up usually. So they're gonna have a little bit of, what are you doing? And that's okay. So short little practice times, short little practice, take a rest. Practice, take a rest. And don't expect yourself to play for a super long period of time right away. So shake it out, okay? Put those shoulders way up high. Let it go. Another good stretch that you can do is take your hands like this, hold them out flat, and open up like you have pizza, like you're offering pizza to people on either sides of you, okay? That is a great way to keep your posture nice and relaxed. So let's do it some more, okay? Back up, chin down, nice and comfortable. Finger, your thumb straight there on that corner, nice and anchored, okay? And kind of comfortable. You're gonna get a little indentation. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Okay, but that's okay. It'll go away. All right, let's pluck. Let's pluck. G, D, A, E, G, D, A, E. Can you think of a way we can do this together? Let's see. How can we do, maybe make some cool music? We could go D, A, A, D, E, E, D, A, A, D, E, E. Again, D, A, A, D, E, E. How about backwards? D, 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 E, D, D, A, D, D. E, D, D, A, D, D. The goal of this is for you to have fun just plucking. Make some music, make some cool music, some cool sounds, just plucking and getting used to having your violin up here and making cool sounds. Okay, now, one thing I forgot to tell you, you want to pluck with the pad of your finger, right in here, all right? Right in there. You don't want to pluck with your fingernail. It's not guitar. We want to pluck with the pad of our finger, okay? Now, when I put my violin down, my shoulder rest fell off. So I'm going to put this back on here. I'm going to try and get nice and close so you can see. Okay, I'm not plucking, even though I do play guitar and I have a fingernail there. I am plucking with the fleshy part of my finger, the pad, not the tip. Okay, you don't want to pluck with your fingernail if you have fingernails. Okay. It's just gonna make a nicer sound. And that's always the goal, is to make beautiful music, right? All right, let's do it one more time. We're gonna go from G all the way up to E and back down. Hold it up there. G, D, A. And back down. A, D, G. Awesome. Go ahead, keep playing if you want. Pluck around, find some cool different sounds that you can make with those 4 strings. And we will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we are going to learn, where do I put my fingers? There's a whole big space. Where do I put my fingers so we can make some new sounds? You get to do that too. So come back tomorrow and we are going to use our left hand tomorrow. Make sure you do come back though with short fingernails. That is your homework. Just cut your fingernails. Make sure you ask for adult help, adult supervision, if that is something that you need. All right? Go ahead and I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you have liked our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Make sure you click notifications so you get a notification when we upload the next video. Like our Facebook page, our Instagram, we're everywhere. Have a great day.